All right. Namaste, 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 and welcome. Mm. What are we bowing to? What's our purpose? Why are we here? What is it that we're going to be doing as we sit silent and still for so long, either here or in your own house? You're entering into a frequency of your being that lies within you. And all of this has come out of my recognition that we have transitioned out of the first 6 chapters of Gita. And now we're in this exploration of our universal self and opening up to the universe. The process of doing so is really effectively going outside the boundary of what we do for ourselves, what we can do ourselves. The practice of yoga, the practice of seeking, the discipline and the organization of your life and all the rest of it, that's all preparatory. When we pierce the veil into our universal self, the universe takes over. It really takes over. I know. What is it that's happening? It is something that doesn't fit in the description of the Sat weekend anymore. It doesn't fit into what I wrote 5 to 10 years ago. Because what I wrote 5 or 10 years ago was about your intellect understanding the nature of the journey and your responsibility in collaborating with a process that is yet to be possible. But now there's a whole different yoga that's happening. The only thing this is good for is for managing our behavior when we're here together. Or managing your behavior when you're home, setting yourself up to be in the schedule. So don't be disturbed. I'm not going crazy. This is simply how it looks when you are outside of the boundary of what you've known before, creating something in the act of outside of the boundary that you have no clue what that might look like. But we will use the structure to enter us into this program because consciousness needs a structure to grow into the truth of what it is. And when it has become that, it needs a structure to come down and manifest. Something in time and space and schedule, communications and structures, much like we've been doing all along. New Dharma has been doing all along. Because if we don't bring this into space and time, if we don't make this part of our lives, then it's going to get diffused. It's going to be overtaken by the last conversation you have with somebody on the phone, or a near bad mood that may have come, or the full moon that's still here. And you won't be able to sort out what it is you are. Because what you are doesn't become real for you until you've brought it in, until it's in you and your life. It has to have a frame where there's still the application of effort from the person of you that has an intelligence and an ego and a life of functioning. And then it can then grow. But if you can't hold it, then it diffuses. And you can't see what it is that you are in truth. So the nature of traveling the journey, when one moves beyond the 6th chapter of Gita, beyond all the dejection and discrimination and right action and the gathering of direct experience through knowledge, and then the relinquishing and the renouncing of the parts of your life that do not serve the thing that's unfolding, and that place you come to in meditation, the yoga of meditation, learning how to be silent and still and to be either above yourself in that higher frequency of yourself or deep within yourself into that deeper frequency that is made up the substance of every zone of your physical embodiment. That capacity expands, and you start not knowing or how to bring into your words what it is that you're now perceiving at a whole new way. The languaging of what it is you're becoming doesn't happen until you know it well enough to find the words that match it. But there's one thing that works at every stage, and that is your willingness to commit, to choose, to show up, and to honor the opportunity of whatever is arising for you in your life to be in relationship with. So here in Asat weekend, you all have succeeded. You're here. You've organized your life to show up. That application of effort and space and time to handling your circumstances and your finances and your whatever else needs to be set up so that you can be here. It's speaking to something in you that's capable of aligning with something that has yet to manifest more fully, or to become more articulate, to become clearer, to become something evidenced in your own experience of life. And the other thing behind this, certainly it is for me, is the purpose. And the purpose of these programs, the intent of these programs, come out of a foundational recognition of what is asked from a human being when they discover that inner reality that they are, to manifest it, to bring it into existence so that it can be communicated or transmitted, so that others who are pulled to it can understand sufficiently the nature of the path they're already on in order to be able to become a greater conscious collaborator with a process that inherently is a natural unfolding of a possibility emerging from within each of us that's eternal, unchanging. So each of you came here with a purpose and an intent. It may not actually be where you end up, but you start with where you are. Columbus started from Spain heading for the Far East. Somebody should have told him heading west isn't the best way to get east. But somehow he convinced enough people, got enough money. But I bet you the people on the boat with him, halfway through, when they're just about eating all the salted dried fish and the last little remnants of fruit to handle, they were really questioning his ability to know where he was and where they were going. So I got to admire a guy like Columbus, because whatever was his purpose and his intent, it ended up to be very, very different than what it started with. So we're launching here. I'm actually kicking you out to the middle of the ocean. We're launching you into a direction where there's an opportunity for you to find what it is you truly intend, what is your true purpose. Why are you here? Why are you alive? All this endless seeking of the satisfactions of our human ego, or protecting the strategies that we come up with to make sure we're safe or in control or get what we want and not lose it ever if possible. Won't get us there. It doesn't have anything to do with the paradigm that we're talking about. You're going to end up in this path when you're willing to leave the shore of what you've known and you head into a direction with an intent or an inspiration or a longing or an aspiration, it's no longer up to you. It shows up. You just head that way and you keep heading that way. And then the universe will confirm it. One day, the North Star will finally come through and you'll say, fuck, I'm really lost. Or fuck, I'm on track. These are glimpses of the truth of the intent that may not be available in the process until that moment. The markers, your own experience, that shifting in your consciousness where you're part of the oneness, or that shifting in the consciousness where you're in touch that this, everything I have done my whole life has been for this. You find that place within yourself that confirms the truth of your aspiration, the truth of your longing. The purpose of your existence will deepen each time you transition. But not before that point. You'll be absolutely sure this is the wrong place and this is a bad decision and so on and so forth. If that happens, like I know this happens, it's a good sign. It's evidence that something's coming. The moment of despair is usually the moment where your consciousness has already made the shift, but the rest of you hasn't. And then when it comes, the two come together and there's this,